Emma's Universe podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe podcast.
Hello and welcome, oopsie doo. It's just like, what are you doing? Nothing. I'm just readjusting my self on the chair. That's all. It's just not doing anything else more than that. Oh, this is funny. This is a typical Emma's Universe moment here. So happy Friday to everybody. I hope you had a good week. For the people who are going to work on weekends, best to you guys. Been there, done that. I worked 7 days a week in the past, and I totally understand what it's putting 90 hours a week means. Overtime, overlap on working with my day and night job as well. I had two overlap actually. Friday to Saturday and Sunday to Monday. And the hardest part was to drive back on Monday when my eyes. I will always remember this one. That was the scariest moment ever. Driving, getting out of the work this side job, and I had the windows wide open. I was eating chocolate. I said I'm gonna eat the grain of coffee at that point, and my eyes automatically shut down. I was like 70 miles an hour on the highway, and I'm like, holy crap. So those were the moment where you're like, okay, I have to be careful of what I'm doing because this is not safe. But this is one of those days. It's like, yeah, happy Friday. So, but interesting week. Yes, I was talking about instinct yesterday, and showing up initiative, and those initiatives should be in your personal and in your business, and because we do a lot at work, but I noticed as well that there is some people, and based on past relationship, that to me throw a curb that make me understood a couple of things in the same time. Because some people will said, well, I'm not doing anything in my home because what do I gain from it? Well, I don't know. Maybe your home will not looks like a squatter's place, or things need to be fixed, and it would be nice to have it fixed. So some mentality on some people is like, well, I'm not gonna do it. I don't feel like it. Well, if you like to live in your clutters, great, but I like to keep it clean because I have pop-pops. So I got enough of the mud. Yeah, I have a rug. I have a rug in the entry over there, and I can tell you for the past 2 days, the rug is more gray than it is white and pink. It's like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. But thinking about take the initiative in your home as well too. And I did that a week ago. I'm jumping when I'm talking right now, but I went to all of the clothes I have, and some of them I'm going to keep them because if I do painting or stuff like that, I like to keep some of my clothes where they already have trace of paint there, which is nice, so you don't have to destroy another. God, okay, that's Mac snoring. I'm hearing a deep snoring. And I'm like, is it a growling or a snoring? That's Mac snoring. So I did the pile and I removed a bunch of stuff that I actually do not need. I'm like, I don't need this. I don't need that. I'm like, go, gone, gone, gone. It's like, shadings. I've done it on all of the stuff I have here, and I don't have much, to be honest with you. Maybe 5 bags will do the trick, and put it in a car and we'll be done, seriously. But it's like bring it to a minimum in ensuring that what I've got is what I need, not acquiring stuff that I'm not going to be utilizing. I think it's extremely important for me that based on past experience of what I saw in the past. That was with Mommy Dearest, actually, where you accumulate a lot, especially when you have a home, a real home. and then you have to declutter everything, or you're moving out and you realize how much crap you can accumulate. And you have two extreme, the one who will accumulate a lot and the one who will do the bare minimum. I like being between, it depends what it is, but it's like what I need for essential. I have things that I want to enjoy, I will enjoy it, but it's more like, okay, what do I need, really need right here, right now to utilize? Whatever I keep, I will probably wear it later on in different environment to where I'm at, which is great. But it's like, okay, get the initiative to declutter, get the initiative to fix things that are broken. If it's broken, if it doesn't work, let's get rid of it. I am having a battle actually with, not having, had kind of a moment with one person in particular that we needed to remove stuff. And it's not easy when you work in a space where you see that people are staging stuff that should have been dumped many years ago, and starting to declutter all of that, which is fabulous. It's like great. But you feel a part of resistance as well from people, because it's not removing everything, but what is broken, what is unnecessary, what can we replace, how can we make a space for people to go here and really feel that presence and not feeling that it's overcrowded. When you're looking at space, is it a busy space where I have, or when I come in, is it welcoming me? Do I feel relaxed, zen, or do I have some stress because there is too many things around here that stress me around? And it's learning to declutter, and I'm doing it in a small space as well. Again, you don't know, I still don't have my home. I don't have my home, quote unquote, the condo that burned into a Krispy Kreme. They are rebuilding it, but I am not in my home, whatever is that home. So I'm in a space where it's a small space, which is good. No complaint about it. Can tell you that I'm very grateful and blessed for it. So are the dogs. I don't have anybody around me, above, next to me, because I could not go back into a condo. No, thank you. I don't want any townhome. No, thank you. Because if you decide to burn down your home, you do it on your own. I do not want to experience this. This was one of the most interesting experience that I had to go through. I understand that. But would I go willingly back and re-experience that? Or think, after you experience this, you think, okay, I am at the mercy of everybody around. So if somebody light up the candle and burn down the ground again, what's going to happen? Maybe it's not going to be a fireplace situation this time around, but it could be something else. It could be a candle. It could be maybe leaving a hot plate somewhere and the things can ignite. You never know. So it's looking at, okay, I'm decluttering here, great, like I explained about on a previous podcast about the situation of the taxes, which is interesting actually. You know, it feels good when you're back on track. It feels very, very good. It's the same when you declutter a room. You can refeng shui the room, change the way things are, meaning you don't have to buy things. You can change where the furniture is, and that makes a huge freaking difference. And it is, rewarding when you sit down and really embrace it. To me, it's like, that's awesome. It's phenomenal. That's what I wanted to do. This is the initiative I had. So when you look at everything you have around you and you can do these kind of things, you know, just feng shui the room, change maybe the color on the walls, add maybe one thing from a different room, or if you can get a little knickknacks and you can just change it. And I used to do that a lot. I had a full collection of spring, summer, fall, and winter. And I would change all of that. And they were fake flowers, beautiful actually flowers. I looked actually fresh bouquet of flowers. And I had, oh, it was beautiful. It was, you felt when you were in the fall, when you were in spring, when you were in summer. It's just beautiful. Just like, that's awesome. It gives you the mood. So this was accumulation throughout the years, but it was just think about decluttering the space, think about modifying things, and I've done that when I used to work in offices as well. One of them, it was Corn Ferry, where I had my stuff because that was my office. It was awesome, and just enjoying it. And I had a nice display on by the windows because I had view, was awesome, on the river. It was just fabulous. I just loved it. So think about what you want to declutter in your life, and are you ready to declutter? Maybe you're not, but you have to look at things. Maybe there is some stuff that are close to your heart and you're not ready to let them go. But there is other thing you can maybe modify it. Maybe you got too much plastic papers and you don't need. Maybe you're looking at pens. I bought one from me here, and that thing was basically all scratched up, and I cooked every day with it. And I just discarded it not even 2 weeks ago. I'm like, okay, it's time for you to go. I got another one, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting another one, and I'm like, perfect. But I'm looking even at the dogs, and it's funny because I talked about the dogs on Monday. I forgot to say one thing. I'm impressed by those dogs, especially Daddy, except she's doing like the kids. I have a basket. I had a basket when I was in my condo where I had accumulated all of the toys because Mike loves his babies, but it depends on the day which one he wanted. So I had a basket, and he used to pick up the toy he wanted before we lived, and he's still doing it. He picks his toys, and it's never the same one, which is funny. And Daddy never picked on those. But I redid the basket a few months ago. I had a baby one, and I pick up a bigger one, and I put the baby one in there actually because I like those baskets. That's the reason I did that. And she's starting to pick it up. Actually, I watched her doing it for the past week or so, and it's so cute because she goes in there and she put her little snoot in there. It's like, okay, what do I want? And she picked up. So I got the crabs. I got other toys that she likes to use. I got some bones in there too. So it depends on the mood she's in. But it's funny to watch her. I'm going to pick up one. I'm going to walk away, put it on the ground, chew for it for a minute. And then I don't like it. So I'm going to leave it on the ground, and I'm going to pick up another one. And it's funny. At the end of the day, I have to pick up several of them. And the same with Mac, because I have to go outside and see which of the baby he abandoned outside too when he go do his little pee outside. It's quite funny. But it's getting things organized. When you start to reorganize, when you start to organize stuff in your home, then it's like your life is getting in orders. And for me, looking at the chaos I've been through for the past 2 years, it's been hell before that, but the chaotic to get out of where I was to where I am today, it took 2 years. It's going to be 2 years. But it's been very interesting, less than 2 years actually. But turning myself around and see the milestone, see things that I dragged to do, and I decided to do it, and be rewarded at the end because you're like, that wasn't that bad at all. That was pretty good actually. Why would I had the impression that doing the taxes ahead would be such a nightmare? Well, it wasn't, or I don't want to do it, or I'm avoiding this. It's like getting back to where I belong and showing initiatives and do it, because the problem wasn't showing the initiative, it was just to do it. That was the last step, to do it. Like I always said, the commercial, we all know that commercial from Nike, just do it. And that's what it is. You have to do it. Yes, I am not happy, I'm going to drag my feet, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no. And it's always happened like that in my book, in my view. When I was younger, another example, and there were some parties we would go. And every weekend, Friday or Saturday night, there is all of the small towns. Some of them had parties, and it's funny because they were all alternating. So not everybody in those towns has the same party at the same time, which is good. But there is some I didn't want it to do it. I didn't want it to go somewhere. The same at work. I'm like, I don't want to attend this. I'm gonna suck at it. And you're like, I'm gonna drag my feet. But you go in there and it's like, holy crap, I got the best time of my life. Why would I not want to go there to start with? Because you assume it would be boring or something along those lines. And you realize at the end of the day, no, it wasn't boring. It was super fun. I had a good time. Everything worked out the way it's supposed to work. So one of the biggest things for people, and I understand, you come the weekend, you run like a chicken without a head most of the time. People do that during the week. The only thing you want to do on weekend, well, I got to go grocery, I got to do this, I got to do that. Well, during the week, I used to do my groceries during the week. I used to do my laundry during the week. So everything was done during the week. So come the weekend, well, I was working 7 days a week. So, but when I wasn't working on weekends, well, my weekends were quote unquote free. I didn't have to clean up the house because I already did during the week. I did all of the stuff ahead so I could enjoy a couple of days where I didn't have to run and do things that I could have done it during the week. Organization, focusing, showing initiative, changing things around to make it easier. The benefits that you reap by doing this, it's awesome. Do it now. That's one of the biggest things. That's why I don't mind to go on weekends, but I know how grocery store works because I used to work way long time ago on grocery stores, and trust me, my weekends were where I was working because I knew the initiative. I knew that people don't want to work on weekends, and I always had my hours in because I work those times where people want their life because they want to go out, they want to do this and that, and that was one of the reasons I worked at, because that ensured my hours when I was working in retail. You have to think a little outside of the box. I rather do things during the week than try to be in the line for stuff on weekends, which makes it harder. So that's the little tip on this one. But think about it. Think about what you're interested to do. Think about what really inspires you and just do it. And on weekends, why not moving stuff on weekends during the week, which you could do? It's like, well, if you want to do your load of laundries, then you can do the load of laundry. You're starting to cook the dinner, you can put your laundries in there, and by the time you're gonna want to eat, then you can put it into the dryer and you're done. Okay, you got to fold after that, but you know what, if you're watching TV or whatever, you sit down somewhere, you can fold that very quickly. So think about the way to reorganize what you're doing, show initiative, and see how you reap the reward. Trust me, it works great because I can drag my feet. I did it this morning again. I was like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And I got so inspired, I did more than I thought I would be doing, actually, because I got inspired. I got in a row. Sometimes it's just the first step. Think about that. So you kick yourself in the butt and you say, okay, we're going to do it. And then you realize, well, this is nice. Now it's done. That's cool because I got more time. I can do this. I can do that. So it's just organizing yourself. Take the time to do it and see how it plays out. So this was our podcast for today. I know, an inspiring podcast, isn't it, for a Friday? You just got a pep talk, people. You just got a pep talk. So... but think about it. Think about what you can accomplish during the week. It's like working out. I work out, well, I've been doing it except Monday, Sunday and Monday. Sunday, I did not do it in purpose, and Monday, same thing. So I took two days off for working out. But I'm doing normally the 7 days a week workout. I kick my butt come the evening. I kick my butt for like 20 minutes, not even. And at the beginning, it's like, I want to do it. And then when I'm in, I'm like, oh, God, that was good. I'm like, okay, that's good. There is days I don't want to do it, but I'm going to kick myself up and say, yes, we're going to do it because this is what you need. You need to exercise. You need to move those energy. You need to do things. That's why I got the dogs to start with, because it was like, Okay, I don't mind. I love my cocoon of my place. I don't need to go anywhere. I'm just relaxing here. I can do my exercise and do this and that. And I decided to get the dogs for the reason to be pushed to go outside and do the walks and do this and do that. And that's what I've been doing with those guys, which I enjoyed very much. There is always a reason we do things. And when the intentions are right, everything flows in the right direction. So, all my love, guys, and I will talk to you later. Have a great weekend. We'll talk soon. Bye.
Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe Podcast.